The pressure has shifted in business in the last month or the last year or so. Who had the most pressure on them within a business? It's the people department. It's trying to find and retain talent within your business without paying exorbitant rates. And it's also people working in procurement. It wasn't that long ago where if you could just get your hands on whatever it is you're selling or using to manufacture in your product, you were ahead of the game. So the challenge was, can I find and retain people? And can I get my hands on the product? Historically, what is the biggest challenge within your business? It is winning sales. It is generating leads, and it is winning work and winning sales. And for the last 2 to 3 years, to put it bluntly, sales departments have been gatherers. The email inquiries come in, the sales calls come in, the people walk through the front door, and it sells themselves. But that dynamic has shifted back again, where the most important people within your business are back to being the salespeople. And yes, this is coming from a finance person. The most important people in your business are most likely the salespeople. If you don't have sales, you don't have anything to produce, you don't have any finance numbers to create and review, and you don't have any people problems because there's no work to be created. You get where I'm going with this. This has led to a question with our clients over the last few months around what is the time frame between effort and output? Well, what is effort and what is output? Effort is when you start to engage in really hyper-productive, hyper-proactive marketing and sales activities versus when do you actually get the invoice hitting your profit and loss report. So let me give you an example. A really short turnaround between effort and output would be a pizza company. Someone rings you at 6:30 on a Friday evening to place the order, you're most likely delivering that pizza within 30 minutes. That's a very short turnaround between the effort of the order being generated and the output of the sale. To another extreme is probably the biggest purchase or investment any of us make in our lives is purchasing a home. You might start selling to somebody or dealing with them to sell them a house, and then 12 months later is when they actually sign on the dotted line, and then it might be another 12 months before you actually invoice them for the work being completed. Why is this so important, the concept between effort and output? Well, if we look at our sales pipeline for the upcoming months in comparison to what our break even is, how profitable are we going to be? And are we going to be profitable at all? And how quickly can we turn that around? Remember, we're coming from a mindset where the sales team might have metaphorically had their feet on the desk waiting to accept the order. They need to be ready for the battle of winning work again as they had done previously. And if we've got a challenge between when we put the effort in to when we get the output, there might be a sustained period of either not making a great deal of money or losing money as a result. These are the things we need to understand. What does our pipeline currently look like? What is the time frame between the effort and the output in our business? And then thirdly, what are the things we could potentially do to shrink the time frame between the effort and output within our business? Using the selling a house as an example, it might not be practical or a really good thing to try to rush people through the selling cycle, but there might be tips and hints and strategies you can put in place to try to shorten that process through your internal systems and processes. Regardless of whether you can shorten the time frame or not, there are certain things you need to respect around the time frame between the effort and the output. Because psychologically, if you can see the distance between effort and output in a very short period of time, it makes the activity a heck of a lot easier. If I do something today and that produces a result next week, that's a far easier thing to handle than if, say, I'm in the construction industry and I might have an awesome profit and loss and revenue pipeline for today, but I'm not investing in any time into my sales processes for tomorrow. My business could look awesome today, but this time next year, it could look terribly bad because I wasn't disciplined enough today to be putting the effort into my sales process. These are the action items you need to do. Firstly, quantify the time frame. How long does it take between the effort of trying to win the work and invoicing the client? Most ERP systems are able to quantify this for you. It might take some reporting setting up within your system or some data analytics, but it should be able to tell you on average between somebody making an order and us actually invoicing the client, this is how long the time frame is. The second step is consistently monitor what your sales orders look like versus your break even into the future. Line up the next 12 months, line up the next 6 months and go, this is how much sales orders we currently have put in place for these months versus what our break even is and what is the gap. Again, this is more crucial the longer the time frame between your effort and your output. If you are running that pizza shop, as we said, it's probably not practical to project forward your sales in 3 months' time, but you've also got the benefit of more levers to pull on that are going to have a quicker impact in your business. Versus the housing company, you really need to know what your next 12, 24 months look like based on your opportunities today, and how does that compare to your break even. The next strategy, as we mentioned before, what are the things you can do to shorten that time frame between effort and output, and if there is anything practically you can do anyway, which leads to the final action item. This is around consistency of effort and being disciplined in your processes. If you're consistent and you're disciplined, yes, you'll have some good months and yes, you'll have poor months. But the reality is the general trajectory of that performance should be on an upward lift.